Is God violent? Well, if you look at the story of the flood in the book of Genesis, all the earth was destroyed except for a little remnant left in that ark. If you look at the background before that happened, it says the earth was corrupt in God's sight, and the earth itself was filled with violence. Well, that tells another story. Perhaps violence was something that came upon itself, not necessarily because of some punishment from God. And if you look further in the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, the prophet Ezekiel explains that Sodom was a very corrupt and violent city. You can read that for yourself. And also another story of a lot of violence happened when the Jews were slaves in Egypt. And slavery is very violent. And what we have is the taskmasters eventually relinquished and gave freedom to the Jews because violence came upon themselves, like a kind of divine karma, but not necessarily because of God. Well, what does this all say? I like this passage in the New Testament. We're called to love our enemies. Now, Jesus is the gold standard. Pray for those that persecute you. And it goes on to say, because he makes the sun rise on the good and the bad and the evil as well, and he sends rain upon the just and the unjust. Well, that's a God of non-partiality, isn't it? God doesn't play favorites. He loves us all the same. And we might keep that in mind when we go to war. These ancient biblical stories reveal a lot of human violence, but God somehow is given credit for it or blame for it. That's a huge spiritual cop-out, and it's a misread. We have to understand how ancient societies would give credit for military victories, bloody ones, to their God. Well, Jesus didn't do that. He condemned the sword. He said we have to take responsibility. The human violence that we have, we're called to love our enemy, do good to those that hate us, bless those that curse us. He said himself on the cross, Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. So we humans quite often have to learn the hard way. Blame God? No.